What is up, y'all? This is the 19th episode of my daily vlogs. If you guys are new to the channel, go check out everything else. But today, guys, I wanted to talk about my biggest mistakes as an SMMA owner. Guys, I have done multiple different things bad as a social media marketing owner. Yikes. From the start of, whenever I was 18 years old up into, 23, 24 years old. Now I'm doing everything professionally. We do make some slight mistakes, but overall, we are very focused on producing good results and doing amazing things with our agency. But I want to talk about the 5 times I pretty much made some horrible mistakes, lost out on some crazy money, and also just wasn't vigilant and kind of did bad on my reputation. So number 1 would be the 7K retainer that I could have got with a dentist that me and my brother just completely flopped. What happened was that he had an assistant that spoke Spanish that handled everything. My name's Gerardo Villalobos, but I don't speak Spanish, which is crazy, but that's a whole nother different thing. But he wanted us to pretty much handle everything through his assistant, so I got one of my best friends who spoke Spanish to handle the call and do everything. Now, my friend knew nothing about marketing. I knew everything about marketing, but he knew nothing about marketing, so I told him what to say, I told him what to do, and the call went great. But the next day, the assistant wanted to follow up and see exactly what we were gonna do and how we were gonna do everything, because the guy had 3 locations. And my friend said, "Who are you? I don't know what you're talking about."
Oh my God.
And it kind of just blew everything out of proportion, because it looked like overall we were trying to scam the guy, and we weren't. I was just using my friend as a translator, and in the end we lost that on the retainer because we weren't professional about everything. Whenever you're starting your SMMA, guys, do not lie. Be straight up and be professional, because you can lose out on some great gains if you just aren't doing what you need to do. That was one of the first biggest mistakes I made with my agency when I was 19. The second biggest mistake I made in my agency, guys, whenever everything was actually going good, I lost my biggest retainer, which was a $2,000 retainer with a business out of Hong Kong called Crafter Blue. Guys, it was crazy. I wasn't producing good enough results because I didn't have the proper experience, but I kept accepting that $2,000 retainer. I didn't try to go and outsource work to someone that actually knew what they were doing. I was just pretty much expanding my expertise and playing with the money and doing everything I could, and it didn't turn out very well. After about 8 months with the business, they completely just told me that this wasn't working out and they had to cut me off.
You're fired.
I tried to explain my standpoint. I tried to, offer something else to them, but from there, I kind of just destroyed the trust I had with them because I wasn't producing good enough results. So if you guys sign a client and you don't know exactly what you're doing, really look into outsourcing the work to somebody that can actually produce good results for that client. 3 on the list, guys. So with actually that last client that I talked about that I actually lost some money on one of the times that I pretty much was setting up everything for them. It was just because I wasn't paying attention to everything. I had ads running, and I swear I had shut them off the week prior, but they ran for a whole week, and I lost out on practically like $500 to like $600-700, and I couldn't get that money back because I wasted the money. It wasn't anything that they did on their part. It was all my fault, and it was just because I wasn't doing my due diligence and focusing on what I needed to do. I was making some crazy good money. I was 18 years old, so I thought everything was just automated and taking care of itself. I swear I thought I shut down the campaigns, but I did it, and I lost out on $600-700. It was a crazy big mistake that I made when I was younger, but at the time I had some decent money, so I didn't stress too much about it. But yeah, that was number 3. All right, guys, I want to talk about the last 2, which are actually pretty crazy. One of them, I got screwed over by a client.
You're gonna be psyched after you're done with it.
The last one is, I think, the most important mistake most SMMA owners make. I think it's something that's very simple, but very, very effective as well. But we'll talk about it, guys, in the second half of this video. Gotta get back to work and eat my lunch. Make sure you guys stay tuned for the second half of the video, and I'll catch you all when I get out of work. So guys, we are back at the Casa. The last 2 things, talking about pretty much my biggest mistakes in SMMA. Second was getting scammed by an actual client. So guys, I had just done social media management for about 2 clients, so I was just getting started, didn't really understand what I was doing too much. But I just got this new client. They're very interested in the service, so we pretty much got them started, got them on a monthly contract and everything like that. Well, I did everything through PayPal before whenever I was younger, just because that was one of the best ways that I can go through, just because of the banking account and all these other different reasons. But I went through PayPal. I got a $500, $600 retainer from the client for social media management. At the end of the month, they were upset because they wanted so much more done. They wanted more stories. They wanted more views. They wanted all these different things.
I want a full refund.
that they honestly didn't pay for. And they went to PayPal, told them that I did not offer them the service. I gave PayPal all the information of pretty much not only the app that I was using and how I funneled the content, but as well as our conversations talking about how they consented to the service that I was offering, as well as the contract that I offered. Well, at the end of the day, PayPal is something that's like the customer's always right. They gave the customer their money and they screwed me over. I was out around 600 bones at the time. I actually really needed that shmoolah, which it kind of was a kick in the nuts. But to this day, guys, I don't use PayPal, and I can't use PayPal because I never paid that amount back.
To this day! To this day!
I tried to file a dispute with them, and we got into a whole argument, and they pretty much sent it to collection, so I don't even bother with PayPal anymore. All right, and for number one, y'all, the number one biggest mistake in social media marketing that I have ever made was not getting started, which is not initiating the things that I needed to do to start making some shmoolah. At the end of the day, you know, like how I said, you can do a lot of different things whenever, you know, you're trying to learn from other people, setting up funnel systems, setting up your direct messaging, your cold calling script, your onboarding, all that good stuff. But if you aren't jumping into it, you're not doing the cold calls, you're not sending out the emails, you're not trying to jump on the meetings, you are not going to get very far. And it took me, you know, a while to actually get super confident and just want to jump into everything. And now I have a team behind me, so it's much more easier to initiate things and get things done. But before, I was very self-conscious about things, and I just didn't go all in. And you know, it's like how they say, you got to burn all the boats. You got to burn all the boats so that you don't have any other option but to get it done and be successful. Social media marketing looks different for everyone, guys. Landing your first client is going to look different for, you know, all of us. But if you're pretty much staying committed, you're learning all the things that you need to do, and you're tracking, you're gonna get far as long as you pretty much know where you're lacking and how to improve. But yeah, guys, those are my top 5 biggest mistakes in SMMA. If you guys have any questions, suggestions, or want to see something specific about my journey or anything, be sure to drop it down in the comments. I'm just pretty much sharing my whole journey as an entrepreneur. Like how I said, this is like the 20th episode of my journey. But yeah, guys, stay tuned for more. I'm gonna be dropping more content in the coming up days. But yeah, if you guys got anything for me, drop it down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.